I want to give you some tips on how you should approach the class. I know everybody has a different way that works for them, and if you already have a plan in place for how you're going to get the work done, that's great. It's just we move quickly in this 7.5-week term, and really the first exam comes up pretty quickly, so you don't have a lot of time to find your groove. You really got to dig in right away. So these are all the tasks that you need to get done in the first week. And so that's why it's really important to start right away on Monday. And so Monday is when you should go in and read everything in the Getting Started module, right? You should post to the introduction board, so that get that post done right away. And complete the email assignment. Okay, all of these tasks are on the week overview page. So when you're on the week 1 overview page, you can click and you'll get to the email assignment. Okay, so you should send me that email from your Prairie State email account telling me your contingency plan if you have technology issues. Then you need to get started on Chapter 1. And so you should be started on Chapter 1 by Tuesday at least, because we have 2 chapters that we're covering this week. So you will have the Chapter 1 vocab assignments, and then you will have problems in Myaccountinglab. If you sit down and just try to do them off the top of your head, you won't know how to do them. So you should read Chapter 1. And I think I mentioned this in my introductory video, that some students, they sit down and read and they find nothing is comprehending with them, nothing sticking with them. So that's why you might choose to watch my videos. So when you're on the Week 1 overview page, scroll down to the Week 1 resources. If you have access to a printer, some of my students say they print up the lecture notes. So if you click on that, you'll be brought to my lecture notes. You might find that useful. Or you can come and you can click on my lecture video. So this is me explaining the topics the way I would in the classroom. So some of my students in the classroom, they find it, some read the chapter before they come to class, some want to hear my explanation and read the chapter later. So you decide that too. Do you want to listen to my explanation and then maybe reading the chapter is going to make more sense? But while you are reading the chapter, you should do the vocab assignment. And so if you click on the vocab assignment, complete the Chapter 1 and 2 vocab assignments. Click here for the Chapter 1 vocab. So we can get started. And you'll come in here and you'll be matching terms with their explanation. And these correlate really well with the book. If you have the book, you'll see the definitions and you'll be able to see what they mean. So this is just to try and get you to comprehend some of the theory. You have unlimited attempts, so if you do this and submit it and you don't get a good score, you can do it again. However, there's no way for me to show you which ones you got wrong without giving you the entire solution. So you just got to start again from scratch. So maybe take note of ones that you aren't real sure of, and then you can go ahead and do a second attempt and change up some of the ones you aren't sure of. So after you've done the Chapter 1 vocab, then you'll be ready to do the first 3 problems in the Myaccountinglab assignment. So let's go into the Myaccountinglab. So remember, you'll access the Myaccountinglab on the bottom of the course homepage. And the first time you come in, if you go and you click on all assignments, you're going to be brought to the registration screen. So you need to register. Either take the 2 weeks temporary access. If you have already bought a code, enter the access code, or you can buy the code right online the first time you click on that page. But let's say that you have, if nothing else, just do the 2-week access so you can get into the assignments, and then you can pay for it later. If you click on the assignment, the first 3 we're going to do are from Chapter 1. So let's take a look here. So if we go in, here's the Chapter 1 problems. So this first one is going to be pretty simple, some simple math. This will only take you a minute or 2 to do this one. This problem is going to be more involved, and this one I do want to show you a little bit. So after you've done the Chapter 1 read the chapter, watched my lecture videos, or if you're still having trouble, I'll show you, I've got additional videos demonstrating this. But this is going to be entering transactions in the accounting equation. This sometimes trips some students up because they're not used to working in Myaccountinglab. So you have to click on the icon to get the transactions. Okay, and your your week 1 discussion board is reserving a transaction. All of these things listed here are transactions that you could reserve. So some people are kind of confused because you have to reserve your post, earlier in the week and make your post by Thursday when maybe you haven't covered all the information. But all of these things listed here are business transactions. So let's see. The first one, December 1st, received $25,000 cash in exchange for common stock. So when this happens, cash changes, and after you viewed the videos, you'll understand that. So we put $25,000 under cash. We put $25,000 under common stock. Okay. And then let me expand the screen. You can check your answer. And you get to check your answer 3 times before it gets marked wrong. All right, so now we get new lines, and it's the second transaction. The second transaction says we received $2,200 cash from customers for services performed. So we got cash, $2,200 under cash, $2,200 goes under service revenue, and then we need to find the balances in the accounts. So what's the balance in cash? We had $25,000, then we got $2,200 more, so we have $27,200 in cash. We have $25,000 in capital stock. We've got $2,200 in service revenue. If I check my answer, it gets marked wrong. It says carefully check your calculations. Remember to enter 0 for any 0 balances. So on the transaction line, the line with the date, you just put the things that change in the accounting equation, the 2 things that change, and that's it. But on the balance line, if there's no balance in the account, you have to put a 0 or it's going to be marked wrong. So after you get in all the zeros, then you can check it again. Check your answer. Now it's right. So I could have checked it one more time after this, but on the 3rd time it'll say final check, and if it's still wrong, that's when it gets marked wrong. Okay, so that one kind of trips up some students, just getting used to the format and following the directions here in the problem. And then your 3rd problem you'll be able to do, okay, so actually, let's not leave this question. If you are working on a question and then you have to, go somewhere, make sure that you save it. Again, I got to expand the string. So you want to click Save. Okay. And then we say yes, and you can come back to it later. Okay. And then the 3rd question in this assignment is also, this is the financial statements, that's from Chapter 1. So you can get those 3 problems done, and then the rest of the work is Chapter 2, so that will be your next task. Then you'll move on to Chapter 2. And for for the first discussion board, you're going to have to know a little bit about debits and credits from Chapter 2. So you have to get part of the way read through Chapter 2 by Thursday. So that's why you got to get Chapter 1 done in the first couple days. So by Wednesday, Thursday, you can be looking at Chapter 2. And so, again, you need to read the book. You also can then go into the week overview page. And here's lecture videos of me explaining Chapter 2. So you need to watch the first 2 before Thursday, because you'll need that information to be able to do your discussion post. Then you can go on and look at the rest of the videos. Okay, and here's a demonstration video. There's also additional instructor videos, and these are only 5 minutes apiece. So that worksheet problem that I talked to you about, that I was demonstrating, here's examples on how to do that. Okay, here's short demonstration videos that you may also find helpful. Okay, and so as you read Chapter 2, get that vocab assignment done. Get your post done by Thursday to your discussion board. And then you can go back. After you've finished everything from Chapter 2, you can finish those Chapter 2, the rest of the Myaccountinglab work. That needs to be done by Sunday night. Okay. After you've done all the work, then do the quiz. Some students think they're going to go into the quiz and guess or use a search engine, and it doesn't work out well. Okay? And so go into the quiz and take the quiz after you've done the work. So when you're on the week overview page, you can click here to get into the quiz. I don't know if I have it open. Yeah. All right. So you've got 30 minutes to go in and take the quiz. Okay. I don't think I want to show this. And so it's a short quiz. It'll count for 3 points. There's 4 questions. One of them's a bonus question. So that should be helpful for you. Okay. And so you can see there's a lot of steps. It's not good if you wait until Sunday, because that means you've kind of given up the whole first week of the class. If you think you're going to sit down on Sunday, because that's when it's all done. There's a lot of work. You should be blocking out time. You need a few study sessions during the week to get this done. I also want to show you some additional resources in Myaccountinglab. So when you enter Myaccountinglab, click on Course Home instead of just going straight to the assignments, and you'll come to the screen, and you can see on the left side of the screen Multimedia Library. And this is where you can get things, choose the chapter that you're dealing with. So we can just choose chapter 1 or 2, right? And you can get some things that are helpful. If you're waiting for your book, you may want to look at the publisher's PowerPoint. That might be a good thing to look at. So you might find some of this helpful for getting information. Okay, so that's, you can also choose flashcards, you can choose videos, and then you'll see here they'll come up so you can have additional videos to get extra help. The other thing that I think is very useful if you want to get some practice problems, if you click on Study Plan, and then go to All Chapters, and then go to the chapter, let's say you want to do more practice on the transactions. You can get a question where you can practice, do some more practice on that. Okay. The other thing that I think is useful that students don't always realize, if you want to go back and look at problems, so even later in the course when you want to go back and look at the problems that you've done and review them, maybe when you're studying for the exam, if you click on Results, and then you can see the problems that you've worked on, and then you can go in and you can review your problems. So I hope this helps you get started. If you feel overwhelmed, which you may because it's a lot all at once, get in touch with me. I'd be happy to get on a video conference with you and walk you around and answer any questions. So make a list of questions. What's throwing you? Like what's keeping you from getting started? And I'll be happy to answer that. And as the course goes, just make a list. As you're trying to cover material, if you feel like you can't go on anymore, right, then we'll get on. I'll talk you through it. Sometimes it really only takes 5 minutes or so of me just pointing you in the right direction. And that's what I'm here for. Okay? Take care.